You are!
There it is.
Hell yeah, boss!
Oh, hey!
Oh, yeah! Good morning! And welcome to episode 1326 of Hard Factor. It is Monday, October 30th, 2023. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80-ish% accuracy guaranteed right here on this podcast. Subscribe, like, and set to auto download if you don't mind. Today, we've got a 3-factor episode that's a bit of a throwback for the old school listeners with a few international moments, fun facts, jokes of the day. Of course, all the big trending news you need to know about, some wacky ones, and maybe some live score updates as well. Who knows? We got Mark, Wes, and Will. How you guys doing? Good weekend?
Oh, yeah, great weekend. Eagles are 7-1, no big deal.
Right over the commies' faces. At least we scored a lot of points, you know. So.
It was a good game. It was a really good game. But yeah. Doing good.
You wouldn't believe we lost on a sack again.
Yeah. The Eagles like to do that. That's how they won the Super Bowl. Wes, how you doing?
Well, you know, just 3 weddings in a row. No big,
Oh. Well, you're going to have to be with us because Paternity Pat is on paternity leave. Congratulations in advance. We'll let him do all the announcements, but he's on paternity leave.
Another reason it's a bit of a throwback show since he's having his Kate is giving birth to their second son this week.
That's right.
It's awesome.
Another beach knockup, probably.
Well, this one
no, actually, no.
January.
Skipped on my Patreon week. I see.
Oh no.
Knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
it's an act of God.
Mother Nature waits for nobody.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah. I hope Pat's ready for that toddler infant life combo. It is.
Yeah. Would you rather be in his shoes, Wes?
No.
He's
I'd rather be doing Patreon shows with you guys.
I'd rather go to the dentist.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm living it right now. We're like exactly 3 months ahead of them on the kid schedule, and so like both times.
You know what he's up against. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he better get ready. It's the calm before the storm. So
seeing Will's babies must make Pat real horny.
Yeah, right. Seems like it. Well, not even just hearing the
announcement.
The
announcement.
Just the idea.
The announcement.
Did you? I can do that.
I got one. See you, a baby.
Yeah.
Yep. Remember, you can watch us tape the pod live, youtube.com/hardfactornews. We got Papa Gamer says, morning, chaps. Thanks for watching from London, hopefully. And then we got Christopher Clark says, no beef, baby time. Yep, that's right. We just confirmed it. That's right.
Hell
no
yeah.
Beef. Says, well, that's weird. Says, Baby Beef is going to come out with Shorov's sideburns. Potentially. Yeah.
Thick ones. Yeah.
He's supposed to be a big boy. I think that's why he's coming a little early.
Cash is a big boy. So Pat just makes Pat and Kate make big babies. They big
thick base.
Thick bases. Yeah.
Extra thick bases.
Yeah.
Couple linebackers.
Good looking thick babies.
Yeah.
Hey, only 3,000 more Instagram followers till I bleach my face. So just
more like 2,300, but yeah.
Wow. It's getting close.
It is.
I'm actually kind of excited. It'll look cool.
It will look cool.
We know you want to do it.
Yeah.
No, the bleaching the hair has worked well, so I'm just going to continue it. Keep bleaching everything.
I can see the roots are coming in. Are you going to go back for another bleaching, or?
Oh, of course, I'm getting it touched up.
Yeah,
that's Wes.
Yeah.
I'm living the bleach life now. Like I'm in it
full time.
Yeah, you're deep in it.
It does look cool with the roots growing in a little bit too. Like I like the full bleach looks cool, but also I think that the little bit of layer to it looks cool.
I agree.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're gonna have
plus I'm going gray, so it helps to like distract from that.
Right.
That's another
absolutely.
Positive of it. Yeah.
You're gonna have a problem when you like bleach the eyebrows. That's when okay, I'll do the goatee for 125. But when you like bleach your eyebrows, then we're gonna have to have a conversation.
Right. No. That's they're staying. One time when I was a kid, I put sun in my eyebrows and they got like clear.
Yeah,
that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because me and Eric, well, people know by PFT on the internet, but he was a major bleach guy, bleached
yeah.
everything back in the day. So there was one summer where me and him were just doing the lemon juice, the sun,
he was on
everything we could.
He was on my on the same travel soccer team as I was, and the whole team went bleach for like 2 full years. It was ridiculous.
Well, that was such a soccer team thing.
Oh, it was such a soccer thing. It was the worst.
The
worst.
Soccer.
It was a huge soccer thing to do. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Producer Eric says he forgot to mention during the Merchathon, Superfan membership is now available for people on the YouTube live chat. It comes with badges and some exclusive emotes. So you're just going to look badass in that live chat at youtube.com.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of the Merchathon, our print provider, Printify and Shopify, apparently don't communicate as well as they advertise they do. So when you put a product up that has been discontinued, they allow you to still take orders and don't tell you that the product's been discontinued. So
how many are we talking about?
Like 15 orders. I've got a little work to do. You'll get your product. I've got to replace it with another product. So fuck Printify, fuck Shopify, you idiots. Work on your system. I will do the work for you. And you're going to get a really mean email from me. But just be patient.
Get it done.
We'll get it done this week.
Fault.
I noticed that, and I was like, should I tell Wes on his way
I
to
saw
weddings?
it. I fucking saw it.
The ones that were in stock shipped quickly. A lot of people already got their shirts. Plus, we will have the updated totals. We'll finish out any pranks that we need to do from the sales, and we will be locking it in the vault. And we haven't done it yet, obviously, because we've been busy this weekend. So go to store.hardfactor.com if you want to sneak in any of those purchases on those items that are being vaulted, because we're about to do it this week. So
hell yeah, you guys want to party?
Let's party.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Do you know who you're with? Thrift Factor, yeah. And this is real news.
Fucking welcome. Hey guys, Kirk Cousins tore his ACL. Vikings were looking good last few games, as was he. He was having like a career year. Terrible news for Vikings fans.
ACL or Achilles? I'd seen.
Oh, sorry. Achilles. Yeah, he
Achilles. I'd seen Schefter tweeted
his ACLs.
Yeah,
where's the Achilles?
Tough for Kirk Cousins. Also, it's tough to follow Aaron Rodgers' torn Achilles because he's already doing practice throws back on the field after
47 days. How's that
poking
possible?
his ankle in shroom water for 50 days? Yeah,
how's it possible? He's walking without a boot. He's throwing and putting pressure on his ankle in front of drugs, Mark. In front of stadiums. It's insane.
Listen, when I tore my ACL, I was delivering drywall for a year before I got it operated on. I mean, it'll heal itself.
True, but you weren't playing NFL level football. I mean,
that's
Aaron Rodgers says he's going to be the first athlete to come back in the same year from an Achilles.
Is Kirk Cousins going to retire from this? I feel like
no. He was having a career year. No, he's like 30. No, he'll be back.
No.
He might be.
He's so by the book though. His recovery is going to be like 12 times longer than Aaron Rodgers. So
he's not going to rush
year. It's a tough year for him for this particular injury.
God'll heal him too. So
he will, but on his own time.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers thinks he's God, so he's taking it into.
He's doing the witchcraft route,
right?
Really.
We'll see. It's a Satan versus God scenario here.
I don't know. Rodgers seems more of like a crystals guy, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he's
voodoo, witchcraft.
I don't think he refers to him as Satan. It's just some other name that we're not familiar with.
It's the closest thing we're getting.
Right. Yeah. Is Wiccan.
Yeah.
Also, some terrible major news headlines. Terrible news for comedy fans and fans of a show I love, Friends. Matthew Perry or Miss Chandler Bong died. Sadly passed away at the age of 54 in his Los Angeles home, apparently drowning in his jacuzzi. So that's horrible.
Tough. And the last public photo was bad.
Yeah. Do you have that, Wes?
Yeah. Look at the headline. This New York Post. New York Post said Matthew Perry looked relaxed at dinner with a friend in last public sighting. And what they mean by relaxed is he looked like everyone hung over at brunch.
Right. And he was with his friends.
You know,
I was relaxed this weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That was a fucked up post by the New York Post.
He looked relaxed. Okay.
Looks relaxed.
I mean, look, Matthew Perry, everybody knows, had a very rough last few years. But
no, last few decades.
Right. Yeah. But do yourself a favor and pop on Almost Heroes, which was Farley's last movie. It was actually released after he had died. Mm-hmm. And Matthew Perry starred in it with him. Very underrated film, fantastic, super funny guys, and just appreciate them for the great art that they did do. You know,
And I have no brother. It was I that ate the shit pies. Great movie.
The ending's the best part.
Yeah. Great movie. I love Matthew Perry. Tough one. In other tragic news, former NHL player and current England hockey player, 29-year-old Adam Johnson died on the ice this weekend. Someone it was a horrifically unlucky incident where it looked. I saw it for a second, but it was hard to watch because I didn't really want to see it. It looked like someone flew in the air and kind of karate karate kicked him while in the air.
Yeah.
He was standing up. It wasn't he was standing up and he got sliced in the neck by a skate and died.
Yeah, and then they rushed him off holding his neck while his jersey soaked in blood. It was
awful,
terrible. That guy who did the you're not supposed to raise your fucking
he did
skates.
He did an ice skating dance
over your head.
Yeah.
Usually it happens from a hit.
Was
he hit into it?
Well, I've seen goalies before where they get down on the ice and people are sliding into the goal.
Right.
And it's happening. This guy literally kicked his neck while he was standing 6 feet in the air and killed him. So that's on that guy probably.
I feel like it's on that guy big time.
Yeah, somebody in the Discord server was saying that it looked like he HBK, sweet chin.
He did. He jumped in the air and kicked him what's that fucked up Japanese movie or Korean movie? Ichi the Killer, where this guy has it. If you get that reference, that's what he did. Anyway,
it's fucked up, man. Hockey, blade injuries are always the worst, and they happen every once in a while, and it always is tough for all of hockey when they happen.
Yeah. Let's lighten the mood, though. Let's lighten the mood. Let's bring it down with some funny news stories. I'll do one and we'll pass it on. How about this? A chain charity store, like a thrift store in the UK called Barnardo's. Here's what their storefront looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, the Barnardo's in Gorsinon, Swansea, which is over there in Wales. We'll do a little arrow for you if you're looking on YouTube. Mm-hmm. They're having a bit of an issue. So people be donating, which is good, right? They're like, donate. We're a thrift store. But people be over donating, and they over donating some very personal items like used sex toys.
Oh, come on.
Oh, is this in response to the story Wes did last week about how the Chinese sex toys are putting microplastics in your body? Now everybody's just trying to get rid of them.
Maybe. Hey, take this, homeless people. You get it, you poor bastards. Hey, Here you go. I'm done with it. Maybe someone else can shove this up their genitals.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you guys remember, I had the idea a long time ago how to get rid of, it was a sick idea, but if you want to get rid of every homeless person in the world, all you do is throw half smoked cigarettes laced with poison on the ground and everyone will be dead in a week. But maybe this is,
yeah. Longer play.
What?
If you throw a dildo laced with poisonous plastics around homeless people, they're going to use it.
Probably so.
Yeah.
They're just putting the microplastics onto.
They jerk off in public. They're going to shove something in their that's not theirs in their bodies too.
Hot ticket item.
Yeah.
A quote from the place was, could those of you they had to go to social media. The Bernardo's went to their Facebook page and they're like, this is so bad, we need to tell everyone to stop. So they posted this thing and says, could those of you who kindly donate please be mindful that we are, in all caps, a children's charity, and as such we have a range of ages on our wonderful volunteer team. They went on to say, a spokesperson's like, we have a lot of underage volunteers that are handling your sticky, jizzed on anal beads, dildos, cock rings. Stop sending them. Yeah.
That's a weird thing to do.
Yeah.
It's an education.
You don't donate used underwear, right? And socks.
Well, you wash it, right? You absolutely do, but you wash them, right? You don't have a skid mark in the underwear when you donate it, right?
I've donated some questionable things before, but it's usually at the end of the bag where I'm like, fuck it. Here, I gave you some nice shirts. Now take my socks too.
Right? You could donate socks and underwear if they're
I've
washed.
Never given socks or underwear, so the dildos would not cross my mind. But that's insane that somebody would think that another person would like to use your used dildo.
Well, they had pleasure in it, so they're like, maybe someone else will.
Yeah, but that's more of a give it to your friend type thing, right? That's not a random person. That's
give it to your friend again, your friend with the pennies. Yeah. In good news, sex is probably up in Wales. They're all giving away their dildos, right?
Yeah. Maybe so.
Why else would they donate? Maybe the plastic thing. But that's a little bit of a better, funnier news is that people just keep donating dildos and whales, and too much so. Barnardos.
That is really good.
Yeah.
Well, there's also more good trending news, Mark. South Africa has won the Rugby World Cup again, making it.
Are they the Springboks, Will? Is that what you're wearing?
Right, it's right here. I'm wearing it. I'm wearing the 95 jersey. It makes it 2 in a row, 4 total, the most of any nation, and they've won every Rugby World Cup since legalizing marijuana in 2018.
Damn.
Yeah.
Coincidence?
Truly
I don't think so.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, that's the evidence right there.
Yeah.
Enough. That's enough said. It's just like in 95 when they beat the New Zealand All Blacks for the first time after the end of apartheid. See, they made the Invictus movie about that with, Nelson Mandela and everything. But this one with the legal weed led to 2 World Cup wins.
How are you going to change their hearts, Nelson Mandela? We win the World Cup.
Yeah.
I will win the World Cup.
Exactly. Son of a bitch did it.
Invictus, baby. Yeah. No, I mean, South Africa. The Springboks. It's the best rugby team on planet Earth.
I want to address a live comment from Jesse that says Goodwill accepts clothes on good faith they're clean. Are you telling me that Goodwill doesn't wash the clothes that you donate before they put them out for other people? That's not true. That can't be true.
No, so this goes back to if you listen to, I think, a Hive Hour, maybe you weren't on that one, Wes, where we were talking about side hustles, and I was potentially going to get into like selling clothes as a side hustle, and Pat did a lot of research. They have blue bins at Goodwill.
Okay.
Have you heard of the blue bins? So
right,
at intake, what happens is people donate, like I donate like bags worth of clothes. What they do is they dump everyone's like dirty clothes, or I wash them before, but they dump everyone's clothes into the blue bin section, which is just giant bins,
right?
And those are not washed yet. People can come and then look at those. It's separate from the main stores. It's kind of like an estate sale.
That's where you should donate your dildos, because the blue bin divers might actually go for sex.
It's divers. So
Yeah.
blue bin crowd gets their hand. They have to wear gloves. They get shit, feces, jizz, all that stuff. And then when it goes from the blue bin to the store, they wash it, of course. But
right, okay.
Blue bin's disgusting.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Jesse made it sound like they were just taking anyone's clothes and tossing it out there.
They toss them into blue bins.
Right, but you made it sound like they were going right from being dirty onto the shelves.
No, you don't want like bed bugs in your store.
Exactly, that's what I'm.
You want in the side store. Yeah,
okay. Yeah. Blue bin.
Hey, also live score update. It's official. The Broncos whooped the Chiefs. They did.
They really did. Yeah. They did.
Also, if you took my tip, which nobody did, everybody ignored me in the Discord, but the Bengals also whooped the 49ers. Called that one.
Ooh, I guess after the Chiefs and the Niners lose, I guess the Eagles are by far the best team in the NFL right now. Yeah. You could say. I guess you could say that. I don't know. But it's
it was so obvious. Purdy's been playing like shit. The Bengals coming off a bye. Joe Burrow was playing way better before the bye came. Him and Jamar are back. So
my one bet on a team to win the Super Bowl before the season was the Bengals, and it was looking dead. And now it's actually looking pretty good.
No. They're right where they want to be. They're coming. Yeah. They're getting healthy. They're playing a lot better.
Yeah. Me, I'm up.
I think so. Was
okay. Do you guys have any like rituals or things that you love like so much that
jerking off? Sorry.
Yeah, we know. I mean, that's all. Yeah. But like if you were expecting them and their arrival was delayed, like you would lose your mind. Like for example, I was at Via 313 the other night with my son, and I love pizza and I love having a beer with it. And most places, their non-alcoholic beer that they for some reason get suckered into this buying is Heineken 0.0, which is the worst non-alcoholic beer in the face of the earth. It tastes like shit.
What's the best one?
The O'Doul's is very popular and also delicious. It's a very, very good, just light beer. But they have every major brewing company makes a great non-alcoholic beer that's 10 times better than Heineken 0.0. Heineken 0.0 is just the bottom of the barrel, tastes like fucking shit. So they had
Heineken doesn't taste good, so that makes sense.
But they have. I love Heineken. I love Heineken regular, but Heineken 0.0 is trash.
To me, it's surprising because I like Heineken regular as well. But they have deals with everybody, right? They sponsor everything.
They got it, but no one. I don't see anyone who likes it. It's terrible. Anyway, so I'd rather just drink a Coke if they have Heineken 0.0.
Right.
And so I was
rather just fall off the wagon than drink this shit.
Pretty much.
You know what?
Pretty much.
This is so bad. Why don't you bring me a real beer?
Why don't you bring me a shot in the real Heineken?
Just smash it on the ground.
Look what you're doing to me.
Yeah, I mean it's close. But
right, I'll take the Cadillac to go and that's a Via 313 reference.
But Via 313 on tap, they have beer from Athletic Brewing Company, which is a very popular non-alcoholic beer. It tastes delicious. It's good beer. So I ordered one. I was very excited to get it, and of course, my server. I was texting with you guys. This dunce server. He forgot to bring it. So now I'm sitting here with my pizza. I'm all excited about having pizza and a beer, which I rarely get to do when I'm out. And he fucking doesn't bring it. So I'm fucking pissed. I'm livid. And I give him a thumbs down on the app when they asked me how my experience was, and they contact me and asked me about it. And I was like, yeah, the fucking beer. And they gave me $20, which is great.
Nice.
But some people take their rituals or the things they like a little more serious. Like one man in India, and his ritual is tea. And I thought that India was one of the top like tea drinking countries in the world, but they're not in the top 5. They're
because I thought England and India both like.
Listen, I looked at like 5 different charts.
Right.
Turkey is by far number 1.
Ooh, okay.
England is up there. The UK, Iran. I swear, India is not as high as you might think it is, even though they have
China? Don't they make all kinds of teas over there?
Yeah, I
But
mean,
they're not
like,
drinking it all the
there's some
time.
Asian countries that are pretty high up there, but Turkey like they just
This
drink
definitely
nothing
sounds
but
like
tea.
it's obviously on a ration to how many people there are.
It's per
Because
capita.
Obviously,
Per capita.
obviously China
Yeah.
and India are 1 and 2. Period.
Oh, with
But per
overall
capita, yeah.
consumption, yeah, per capita, a Turkish man drinks more tea than an Indian.
Got
man.
it. Right.
So anyway, this guy's, and they have a word for fucking tea servant, the chaiwala. You might have learned that in Slumdog Millionaire. But this one guy, this Indian guy, that was his thing, tea, right? So and he loved it so much that when he wasn't served his tea, he lost his temper, and he used to love tea, and it boiled over. Adava Kishore allegedly steeped over. Yeah, it whistled. Had a fight with his daughter and daughter-in-law over a delay in serving him tea. His family said that Avad Kishore was under a lot of stress for some time because of domestic disputes. His wife was living at her parents' place, but his married daughter was living with him, I guess. And on this past Thursday, he asked his daughter and his daughter-in-law for tea. All I want is some fucking tea, my wife's gone. So it was delayed. He got upset, leading to an argument. And he was like, you know what? I'm asking you two bitches to bring me tea because your fucking mother is gone. So now I'm here with no tea, no wife, you two idiots who don't know how I like my tea. You know what? Fuck it. You know what better than tea? Me pouring gasoline on myself and lighting myself on fire.
That'll teach
That's what he did.
That'll teach him.
That's what he did. What? He was so pissed about the tea that he poured gas on himself, lit himself on fire, and killed himself.
He actually did, like he self-immolated the whole
self-immolated over some fucking tea. I mean, it was about his wife, but it was the tea set him off.
It was the straw that broke the camel's back.
It was. Yep. It was the tea that broke the Indian man's back.
We always had a dark joke back in our sketch days where like we should do a series of sketches where this was like when we were in our early 20s too. So like it was like you should do like revenge suicides. Like when you're mad at someone, you just commit suicide.
This guy takes the cake.
This guy did it. Like this would be like this is one of the scenarios we were talking about. Like you get so upset with like a loved one that you just kill yourself in front of them type thing. And they're like,
Yeah, I mean, how else would you do it? How else would you kill yourself if not in front of the people that did it to you? Right?
That drove you to it.
Yeah,
wow.
Of course.
Yeah, just destroy the whole family.
Yeah, of course.
I'll show you how upset I am.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Whoa.
Pretty crazy.
No more tea for him.
No more tea for Advar.
Did the daughters or the mother like say anything to the media or anything, or is it just like?
No,
it
was like one of those BBC articles that just like kind of left it at he's dead. and that's it.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I don't know if they tried to stop him. Maybe they were like they had an argument, they left, and he probably just went somewhere and just doused himself in gas and lit himself on fire and was like,
He'd been threatening this for months.
Yeah, I mean, his wife's gone.
I'm going to the store to get the gasoline. Like he was just there were signs. So.
Yeah,
you got to watch out for anger, man. That's that's one of the emotions that'll just get you.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Everyone relax.
Everyone relax. I had another one about some bulges being stolen in Northern Ireland.
Let's hear about it.
Okay, so a lot of bulges was stolen off of Ballyness Road sometime between October 21st and October 23rd, and they're calling it a large quantity of bulges, and it's stored in like straws. Here's what it looks like. It's in these big CO2 tanks, and it's stored in like straws. Where is it? Oh, fucking hell.
I imagine bulls shoot huge loads. So like, do you have a small amount of bulges?
Right.
Well,
they just vat, right? They only do vat.
It's definitely like a vat. Hang on one second.
Like that'd be one of the least.
Hey Wes, I got a picture. This is the bull when he realized they stole his jizz.
Anxious bull.
Yeah,
like the shark.
Yeah, he's about to have a lot of kids he doesn't want. So here's what it looks like in the CO2. So inside of the CO2 are like these different compartments, and each of those little straws contains a sample of the jizz, I guess. And then you just take that long thing, you stick it in the cow vagina, and it's worth a lot of money. There was one cow, I think in India, it was like a buffalo that got like $3,000 for every time he inseminated another cow because he was so big.
Impressive. India,
that's why you
even like slaughter them there, right?
Yeah, maybe it wasn't India, maybe it was Sri Lanka or something. It was one of those around
That's
there.
why you'd steal the jizz.
Yeah.
There it is.
But they said it's very dangerous because if you're gonna steal a bunch of cow jizz, these CO2 things are under a lot of pressure, and you pretty much have to be an expert to know how to handle them, so you don't fuck up.
Using a bomb.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah.
Like opening a champagne bottle.
Yeah. You could you could explode with jizz.
Steady.
Yeah.
You're just sitting up inside the van covered in bull jizz.
I think I'm getting closer. His coverage.
Yeah. So, it was a very delicate heist to undertake. And they say they're going to have a trouble probably moving the jizz because, if you all of a sudden come into a bunch of valuable bull jizz, people are going to start asking some questions like, hey, where do you get all this jizz?
Yeah. The rookie thief, they're like, why don't you just go ahead and open up a couple of those straws for us? Oh, he didn't know it was super pressurized. Yeah. Welcome to the team.
Yeah. He's just got straws of cow just sticking out of his eyes.
Yeah.
That's way worse than dye packs. Although it sounds like about as lucrative, honestly, bull jizz to cash.
So. I would rather steal bulges though than rob a bank. You know what I mean? Like, seems safer.
Way safer.
Besides the accidental jizz maybe on you, but like, you probably could get away with it easier.
Well, and if you handle it with care and figure out how to take it to another country, you're probably set. Because like if they just don't sell it in Ireland, right?
Once you get far enough away from the people you stole it from, they don't have other banks.
There's not there's
no
not
one's looking for you
directory where they're gonna you can.
There's no Fed. There's no Fed for bulges.
These guys are like a JV version of what Nidri or whatever his name was in Jurassic Park when he stole the
right.
Yeah. He's walking around with the Barbasol.
I forgot to use that word.
Yeah. So that was just a quick one, but pretty funny just to think about guys breaking in and stealing. Like, all right, you ready to go steal those fucking bulges? Let's do it.
I could see myself getting involved in a bulges stealing operation later in life.
Like you said before, robbing banks. Yeah, probably. So.
Yeah. Why not? Right.
$3,000.
I think they can get away with it if they manage to get it off the premises without the jizz cans exploding, and then there's no evidence of them exploding anywhere in the area. These guys are probably scot-free.
Wait till some farmers go out of town and they're like they're stuck with the B team, and you show up with like a hat and a clipboard. You're like, here for the bulges.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys go ahead and jerk it off though? I just drive it.
So you don't want to be the one handling the material. All right. That was a funny story, Wes. Here is another funny one. A joke of the day from Tony in PA. He sent in a real thinker, guys. Why was Pavlov's hair so soft? Pavlov, you know the
dog.
yeah. Well, he was
Bell.
the psychologist. Yeah.
The Bell with Pavlov's, with the mice. And
So why was his hair so soft?
because of a therapist. Because of
Don't know.
Because he conditioned it.
no.
God damn it. It's pretty good.
It's a great one, Tony. Also, fun facts are back. This one from Jimmy Wett. The Roman Empire handled holy wars in the Middle East by just completely taking it over, just owning it, according to like new satellite images that we have access to now. They had over 400 forts in the area. So like, it's pretty crazy. Declassified spy satellite images have revealed 400 Roman Empire forts in the Middle East. And this is in addition to what they already knew about. This is oddly in a space.com article. So it's in there in the space article because it's from satellite images from space. The images actually come from declassified Corona spy satellites that were active in the 60s and 70s for the CIA. And now all those images, along with other Cold War spy project images from something called Hexagon, are finally available to the public after they've been declassified. And so we've known about this, or like we could have looked at this shit forever, but we just started looking at it 50 years later because the stuff, the Cold War spy images became declassified. Back in 1934, the Middle East was surveyed for Roman forts, but they only found 116 at the time. And now the additional 396 found in the declassified satellite images paint a different picture of how the Romans like handled business at the edge of the empire. They used to think that the Romans just built up a defensive line of like 100 and like a wall, you know, like they built a wall between them and the Persian Empire, you know, to the east. When in reality, they basically just took over the area, the entire area of what is current day Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, as much as they possibly could. So like they would just like open forts, put them everywhere, and they would do that to maintain order in the area and so that they could just trade freely. So pretty wild.
Is that why Turkish guys like to be shirtless so much? They've got like some Italian blood in them.
Maybe
like
they got that Roman influence, right? Bathhouses. Orgies.
I'm not going to wear a shirt today.
Yeah. I mean, everywhere around the Mediterranean. The study also found 106 other locations they think could have been more forts. So it's a total possible of 618 Roman forts in the Middle East that they had, which was all the way at the edge of their territory, which is just an interesting, fun fact considering all the unrest going on in the same area today. And now we have a better picture of how the Romans handle it. They simply took everything over completely. Brutally to ensure that their trade would flow freely inside their borders. And they did it all the way from Iraq to England.
How long was the Roman Empire around for? Like 500 years?
Oh, longer than that. And different versions of it. There was the Roman Republic before the Empire. The Empire was like 500 itself, but then it branched off into the Byzantine Empire. And before it, there was the Republic. So the Romans were around for quite a while. Quite a run. So just like, I don't know, it's kind of crazy, right? Like you think like we had these images for 50 years, like showing all of this stuff that totally puts a different spin on history. And yet, because it was spy images, nobody knew until 50 years later. And you mentioned blowing everybody's minds.
You mentioned Almost Heroes, which is like making fun of Lewis and Clark, or like the same thing as Lewis and Clark cartography exploration. We did a story like a year ago where Japan's like, oh, we actually have double the islands we thought we had for the historically.
Right. Yeah.
Like there's so much unexplored shit still. There's in China, there's like land underneath land. There's like, you know, like forest underneath caves and shit. There's so much unexplored shit on Earth. It's insane.
Right.
The oceans, like
the abyssal zone of the ocean is like the majority of the Earth. And we know
maybe 25% of the actual Earth, like what's going on.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have the fucking evidence to know what we need to know about the Earth, and we just don't even fucking share it because
we're stupid. That's what I'm saying. AI is going to fucking crush us because we're just humans are so stupid. Me included, but we're stupid.
Yeah, for sure. We throw ourselves in that boat. Me too. Yeah. But you know, it's just like it's when you think you know everything, and then all of a sudden, like, oh wait, these spy
everything I ever thought was true is wrong.
Right. It's like every day we learn that we were totally fucking wrong about about some subject for like thousands of years. It's
Got
fun.
it. Up is down.
Fun fact.
Yeah. Cool. Very good. All right. Hey, I got a story that happened. This is a good one. It happened back around Christmas time last year, 2022. But I this is after I read the article that just came out. I checked it, saw the date. It did make the news back then, but it's back around again because it's so hilarious, and I don't think it got the justice it deserved back in December 2022. So a Thailand man, Boontam Chai Moon, did not notice that he left his wife, Amnoai Chai Moon, after a rest stop in the province of Mahasarakam. So they're on a road trip. He didn't notice he left her when they were traveling to see her family, by the way, on Christmas Day. And he ended up driving over 100 miles in absolute bliss. I mean, silence, and claims he just kind of forgot about his wife and thought she might be sleeping in the back seat quietly.
No.
Was she driving in the back seat the whole time then?
No. She was sitting
No, I
in the
mean,
front
like,
seat with him.
right,
She was
yeah.
sitting in the front seat with him. What happened is he pulled over because he had to pee. And he's like, I'm gonna fucking pee. This was around 2 a.m.
Right.
And he was like, I'm gonna fucking pee. I don't want to be driving to your family's house. So he goes out to pee, and she goes, well, I'm gonna pee too. So he pees right on the side of the road. She's a little bit more modest as a woman, even though there's no one on the road. She goes into the quote jungle. When she goes into the jungle, I think my man Boon Tom saw his opportunity, and he left her in the jungle, probably to die in the middle of nowhere at 2
Peace and
a.m.
quiet, yeah.
Because the nearest town was over 13 miles away, which is where she walked to. So she walked 13 miles into the center of Kabin Buri, which is
this guy was real cocky because that's a half marathon. It's not like impossible to walk 13 miles.
It wasn't impossible, but he must have thought very little of his wife. Well,
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He really thought she was incapable of doing anything.
Thought very little of his wife. He left her in the jungle, and she walked 13 miles to a police station where she was like, my husband's missing. I don't. She didn't even know what happened. Like maybe she thought he got murdered.
She forgave him.
Well, she didn't know what happened at first because
she's worried about him.
Yeah, she might be worried about him.
That's a divorce in the United States. That's an immediate divorce.
I told my wife this story, and she looked at me and she almost like hit me.
Yeah.
Just me telling her about the story. She's like, I would. I was like, I'm not Boon Tom. Like, why am I getting shit for this? So she walks 13 miles into this town, and it's the small town. It's now 5 a.m. and she's like, where's my husband? They're like, ma'am, you look like a mess. Where'd you come from? Tell us the story. And she tells them the story. And then she's like, okay. They're like, okay, let's call him. And this is a little bit weird. She didn't know his phone number by heart, so they couldn't call his phone number.
Luckily, change his phone a lot, maybe, or I don't know. I mean, that's weird.
That's weird, right? That's a weird fact. She did know her phone number though, which was in the car. So they called her phone number over 20 times. And apparently Boon Tom said he didn't hear any of those 20 calls either while he was just cruising.
Yeah, right. He's like Grant in Overboard with the models. Like,
yeah,
I'm not here.
Yeah. Oh, like he's praying that his phone doesn't ring but when her phone rings, it's fine because it could be like, her parents or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. So he's just driving. Eventually he picks up and he's like, oh, my wife is where? 95 miles away. I'll turn around and get her, I guess.
Oh, he picked up the phone eventually?
Yeah.
After like 20 calls?
I think he realized at some point, like,
yeah, he was getting his story straight. He was getting his story straight during those 20 calls.
Right. This is the police calling, at some point he realized he had to, like, it's going to be attempted murder if I don't. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So
he realized what he had done after that first call. And then he's like, uh-oh.
I thought she was sleeping in the back all 20 times and wasn't waking up to the phone 20 times. And so
he was getting those facts straight.
What a marriage.
Totally unbelievable, especially the fact that he picked up her
unbelievable.
phone eventually. So did she divorce his ass? Because like that'd be tough to come back from.
No, I think they're still married. They've been married for 27 years and they have a 26-year-old son. I don't know about happily, Will, but they're still married.
Not happily.
It could have honestly been a mistake. Look at live comment from Jesse Lanks. He says, my dad literally did that to my sisters and her dog.
It's amazing. How long though? For 100 miles? Like 3 or 4 hours and the phone's ringing in the back. I mean, like, how long did he go?
I want to know what he was thinking about.
Jesse, like, how long was this? I mean, like maybe like 5 miles, but like after like your 2 or 3 songs play, you're like,
right.
What
and
do
then you like say something to the people.
What do you want?
Yeah, you don't get a response. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, the guy drove for 3.5 hours.
Like, it's really nice in here. What's going on?
Yeah,
They never talk. It's like, how could you not notice she's not in the car for 3.5 hours? Like that
didn't say a deaf couple, so
right. Crazy.
yeah. Anyways, I thought that was pretty funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, plot foiled, sounds like. But.
It's awesome.
He's like, I guess I'll pick her up. Like, he's like, can you just arrest me for attempted murder? That's what he was debating for half the trip.
Yeah.
Right. It's crazy they're still married. That sounds like a for sure tried to leave her thing.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Jesse says his dad's aloof as fuck and he drives a lot. So he gets in the zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
No way he went 100 miles.
I don't think your dad went 100 miles without your sister's
No.
in the dog, but
No.
maybe.
Forgot my sisters were there, he says.
Awesome.
All right, let's go up to Canada, check in on how they're handling social issues up there, right? They handle them a little bit differently than maybe we handle them down here.
Kill ya.
First up, we're going to get to that, Mark. First up, let's see how they're handling the LGBTQ rights. Apparently, Canada isn't even really addressing LGBTQ rights anymore because apparently in Canada, age, sex, gender, orientation, whatever the terms are, have all gone out the window. So there's no need to address them at all because it's a fucking free-for-all up there. If you base it on this one story I'm going to play for you. I'm going to play you a news clip from a YouTube channel called Rebel News, and they have 1.61 million subscribers. And I guess they're like the hardcore Fox News of Canada, very conservative, but, a little edgier. I guess they're only on
Jordan
YouTube.
Peterson's TV station or something.
I don't know who it is, but they're hardcore. And I guess
Rebel News.
Yeah.
I think I saw a lot of their clips during the trucker rallies.
Yeah,
they were
probably
like big time trucker rally. Clip people.
What's the other one? Buzz 6? Buzz, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know.
Another Canadian.
But this story involves a transgender woman who signed up to swim in a swim meet, but there's more to the story, and here's the clip. And it's going to be offensive to some of you because this guy doesn't give a fuck about the correct terminology. He's purposely offensive.
Okay.
An event like this, I could say I identify as a 13-year-old girl and I swim with the 13-year-old girls.
We base on Swimming Canada registration. So if the swimmer registered in Swimming Canada registration as a female, she will be eligible to come down to actually swim in this heat.
David Menzies for Rebel News here in Markham, Ontario, and I'm at the Markham Pan Am Centre. This is host to a swimming competition. And here's the deal, folks. We were tipped off by some concerned parents that a travesty was occurring in the swimming pool. And to quote the old Sesame Street song,
like a film noir.
One of these things is not like the other.
Down there in
One of
Chinatown.
these things does not belong.
Like an
Which is to
autistic
say
Dick Tracy.
that all of the swimming races here at the
hateful
Richmond
Dick
Hill
Tracy.
Aquatic Center's Fall Classic, they are segregated by sex and age, except for one. On Friday, a race took place in which there were 10 participants. 9 of the participants were teenage girls. They were either 13 or 14. Okay. And one participant, if you can imagine, was a male, age 50. That's right, a 50-year-old male competing against teenage girls. Now, the name of this person is Nicholas Sapita. He goes by his alias these days, and that would be Melody Wiseheart.
His alias.
What an asshole.
His alias. Whoa.
So why did Melody sign up for the 13-year-old girl?
Well, if you're gonna compete in the 13-year-old girls division, people are gonna say shit like his alias.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, because like when you're 50, right?
Yeah,
I get like
it wasn't a 13-year-old cis boy turned into girl. It was a 50-year-old.
Well, and not only that, take out the whole
age,
it's just the age. Like they'll let.
Why did they let any 50-year-old?
No, it's the Wild West in Canada. They don't give a fuck.
Did she win? I
You can
imagine she would win.
self-identify your age.
Yeah,
Did-
you could
did she
anything you write on that in that registration form goes.
Did she smoke these 13-year-olds?
No, that's the best part, Marcus. Here's the results. She
got
did
third.
not.
Third
She got,
place.
yeah, she
Oh, wait,
got
no.
third.
Second.
No,
Third,
because there's
fourth.
yeah, she did not win, which is awesome.
255.50. Wang Chloe won.
Yeah, but she's a doctor. She has a doctorate in psychology. She's a PhD professor at York University.
But she's competing in 13-year-old
13 to
female
14-year-olds,
athletic events, which is going to be a tough one for your employer to stomach now.
I don't think I've heard Alias before. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good, wasn't it? Yeah, Alias. Yeah. So
Davies doesn't fuck around with this.
no. I mean, bravo, Canada.
This Canadian cowboy hat.
Let me have a word with him.
Yeah. Yeah. He would never call he'd never call her Melody. But Canada is just not even trying to establish any kind of line on this topic. So it's kind of, very progressive.
Dude, that's I'm kind of with them. Like, I'd rather just identify as 25. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I could just
why
be
not?
25. I could just identify as 25. Like, and then I could always be, I could just always have fun.
Why wouldn't you do this in the opposite? I guess kids get discounted rates like for movies and shit too, but like senior discounts, and also if you're younger, you can beat the shit out of
older. Yeah,
you can identify as older and beat the shit out of like senior citizens and races and shit because
so you could
like,
buy booze and cigs and stuff.
Yeah, your younger body.
You just identify yourself as older. I identify as an adult.
Yes,
give me the weed.
Right.
Wasn't there a country in
that's the way to go, is identify as older.
Yeah, because there was a country in Europe. Remember, like they got benefits earlier if you're a woman.
Yes.
So you
Switzerland
1 year by 1 year.
Yeah,
so
by 1 year.
Switch your sex
the guys switched over to be girls so they could retire.
Yeah.
The world's crazy. More Canada. Let's see how they're doing.
So those rules are just now kind of creating. I mean, obviously they're creating loopholes. Right, because like this is a loophole how this 50-year-old was able to compete.
There's no line.
It's such a pain in the ass that like you have to be such an asshole if you're doing it for the loopholes. You're such a piece of shit.
This is a weird thing.
It's still just a few people that are taking advantage as opposed to like the majority.
For sure. But it's so ridiculous. It's newsworthy every time. Like this 50-year-old
chick's so fucking weird.
I still think the teacher in Canada with the triple Z boobs is taking advantage a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Of course.
That's a huge scam.
Yeah. No, I mean, they'd rather not.
Maybe the sorority girl, the girl that lives in the sorority house, might be taking advantage.
Oh yeah. Well,
there's a few.
Artemis. Artemis is taking a little advantage. Yeah.
The vast majority identify and it's good for them, and hopefully everything works out for them. But there's a few people people are taking advantage.
It's just wild that the rules that they're making, to make those people who need the rules for themselves to feel more comfortable.
Well, it's so disrespectful to them.
Then the people are just taking it and abusing it immediately.
It's so fucked up to the people that are actually going through the struggle and getting emotionally abused, physically abused, and stuff like that. Like these people are just pieces of shit. They don't care. They're just like taking advantage of the system.
For sure. But it seems like it's impossible to police, basically, because once you open Pandora's box, it's like anything goes for anybody.
It's hard to police for sure.
Listen, I'll tell you, and I don't know how to phrase this, but in schools, like with the acceptance, the LGBTQ rights things is awesome. Everyone should be allowed to live their fucking life however.
Right, like the post when we were growing up, when like in the 90s, where if you were gay, you absolutely couldn't really say it.
Right, but now what's happening, and I know someone who personally is experiencing this as a young girl going like in middle school. Everyone is kind of identifying, a lot of people, not everyone, but more people are identifying as non-binary. It's kind of like a hip thing to do.
Yeah, it's trendy. We talked about it, I think, on a few high.
But it also delegitimizes.
The pendulum swung so far one way where now kids are almost peer pressured into having pronouns.
And my son is in a school like that. But it delegitimizes, it takes away from a lot of the struggles of kids that are actually dealing with that fucking reality versus it just being a fucking fad. Which
if you're just doing
it's like
it's
goth,
not really your life.
Now it's like goth kids, where like like it's like a trend, but like it's like a popular thing to do, as opposed to like there's like obviously some transgender kids or some gay kids, but now there's so many kids that kind of just like at least hang out with them and pretending to be, or at least
uncool to be hetero these days. And I mean, it literally is. It's interesting. Anyway, moving on. let's see how Canada is dealing with another hot button social issue, assisted suicide.
Homeless. Oh yeah.
Right. Well, we've covered that pretty much all you have to
One and
do.
the same, Mark.
Yeah.
In Canada.
Right.
Pretty much. Now we've
We said the
covered
same thing.
We've covered that they have that program up there made, right? And all you have to do
Mhm.
is make an appointment. You see a couple doctors, you wait a little while, and they'll kill your ass. And now it was mainly for people who were dying of an incurable illness, but as we talked about, they were thinking about expanding it to mental illness, and they have. Starting in March.
Yeah, one lady was an former Olympic athlete that was like maybe 15 pounds overweight. And they're like, we could kill you.
Yeah.
She was like,
Oh.
no, because it's supposed to be for people that like in
Cancer.
Gone Girl, or not Gone Girl, the boxing movie with Hilary Swank and Clint Eastwood, where she was like a vegetable or whatever.
Right,
Not
right.
like kill me because I can't move.
Right.
Like
That's what people were originally theorizing that this would be for.
But then they were taking like gold medalists that were like poor.
They have expanded the pool.
You're having problems with your hip
every year in Canada. So it started in 2016. Here's the graph of how many people are being murdered by the doctors in Canada. It's up
to 11K,
insane.
10K.
Government doctors
Yeah.
are giving them lethal injections. How many, Wes, this year?
So let me see. In 2022, there was 13,241 assisted suicides in Canada. 13,241. That's 31.2% over 2021. And the graph is just like just a fucking up arrow. Like, wow.
Stonks up.
Like my jerk off from 11 to 18.
Talk about population.
Yeah.
You know?
So
something that governments claim they're not into, but obviously Canada is
openly
into.
Oh, they're so into it. And there's going to be a huge scandal in 10 years where they're going to find out that doctors were getting kickbacks for killing people. It's no doubt.
Poor Dr. Kevorkian. They gave that guy a bunch of shit. Turns out
it's much cheaper
to Canada.
Much cheaper to kill people than to provide them with programs that might help them, and specifically for this new pool of people that they're going to start killing, drug addicts and mentally ill, starting March 2024.
There you go.
All you have to be is mentally ill, and under that will include substance abuse. So if you're addicted to drugs, you don't have to have any other underlying illnesses. You don't have to have cancer. All you have to be is addicted to drugs and at rock bottom, and they will kill you. They will fucking take.
So everybody is eligible for
pretty much
government assisted suicide.
I don't know if they've expanded the kids yet. I knew that they were talking about that, but it's coming. So now they have included drug addicts. So I don't know if that would have if I like alcoholics. I don't know if it applies to alcoholics, but maybe I could have gone in and be like, listen. Like you're rock bottom when you're a drug addict.
Wes, it definitely would apply to alcohol.
Yeah, it's substance abuse.
So is Justin Trudeau just the most insane person of all time? Like it just seems.
Dude, I don't know. It's
eugenics.
Like
he's the craziest person ever.
It's eugenics. Like a lot of people are calling it eugenics, and one of the doctors, who even is a maid provider, he's actually done these like killings for people that are dying of cancer. He's like, I've never had a drug addict come to me and say like, hey, I'd rather die. They've come to you and ask you for like maybe like a program, like a methadone clinic or something, but that's too expensive. It's easier just to fucking kill someone and get rid of them than to spend government money on assistance programs and all that kind of shit. So a lot of people are saying this has now reached eugenics level. I think it already has. Yeah.
That's literally the definition of eugenics would be getting rid of undesirables. And I guess in this situation, Canada views it the same way because they're saying, hey, if you fall under any of these categories, we'll gladly off you. No problem.
Yeah. I'm telling you, there's going to be a scandal where doctors are going to be found to have been paid per killing versus, like an insurance check. For,
right. Like when they give out
rehab,
like opioids and shit.
Yeah,
like when they get kickbacks for giving out a certain drug or whatever,
it's going to be the exact same shit
program.
I guarantee it.
Do some quick math here because
they got to get their funding somewhere, Wes. I mean,
how many died in assisted suicide in 2022? You said
13,241. That's 4.1% of all deaths in Canada.
Okay, well, I was just doing Canada's population.
Yeah, 4% of all deaths are government assisted suicide in Canada.
They just put out a report like last week, and it's insane.
So
That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah.
There are 10 times less deaths by suicide in the U.S. There's 1,300 in 2022. And
Really?
we also
That
have
seems really low.
Well, we have 1,300 total in the U.S. in 2022, and a population
That cannot be right.
and a population of 331 million. This was actually 2021. It has Canada. No, it is. It has Canada as 10,000.
You're telling me only 1,300 people died in the United States of suicide in 2021?
Of assisted
suicide. Assisted suicide. Okay.
Assisted suicide. We have 10 times the population and 10 times less assisted suicides, which I don't know if that math works out, but that's 100 times more assisted suicides in Canada, if I'm doing the math right. 100 times more.
Since they started this in 2016, there's been there's been basically 45,000 assisted suicides in Canada since 2016.
It's insane. There's only 30.
It's a whole town.
There's only 30 fucking million people that live in.
That's an entire town of people.
Canada only has like 35 million people.
Yeah,
it's insane, dude.
Killing like 1% of the population.
And now they're adding drug addicts, so they're gonna come in down their luck.
Everybody, dude.
Rock bottom. That's the last person you want making a suicide decision is someone rock bottom on a fucking drug like binge.
Here's this pamphlet. Can we talk into taking our shot?
Do it.
Yeah, because you feel pretty bad when you're rock bottom on that.
Right.
Kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like predatory, right? That'd be like going after
it's insane.
People. Like that's like banks going after people they know they can fucking like get all their money from. You know, it's like that's so crazy.
Yeah. In the U.S., we give away houses and credit cards.
Right. Yeah,
and then the opposite.
You're just a slave.
Yeah. I mean, they lock you in to indentured servitude of a sort.
But you can
with
go
all the
buy
debt.
a car.
But that's at least letting you live. I mean,
you get so in debt in the United States, then you go to Canada to kill yourself.
That's the move.
Yeah,
that's the new North American
that's the move.
cycle.
Yeah.
Or you can go south and just party until the cartel takes you.
So get some plastic surgery and party.
Yeah.
I think Mexico's my route.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, let's close it out with more fun facts. This time, a legal edition. About the law. These are fun facts about the law. Listener MM sent us one that somebody in his family was a victim of the Harvard body selling market.
Oh,
and is
shit.
about to get boat money from the lawsuit that's coming out of that.
Whoa.
So, that's awesome.
Good for them.
Yeah,
good for them.
Coming to the Hardo Hive because Harvard are horrible people. Who's worse, Canada or Harvard? You know,
peas in a pod,
right? Another fun fact about the law, guys. Did you know that you can be evicted by your parents for being a deadbeat? For not
from their home or from your home?
From theirs.
Oh yeah, yes.
What if you're living in a home that they bought and you stop paying rent? Just hypothetically.
Yes, they could evict you. Wes, 100%. 100%. 100% you could be evicted.
What if can they evict your buddy that moves in too?
Yeah.
Yes. In America, it's really easy to evict your children.
What if you threaten to go to Canada and kill yourself if they don't let you live in the home?
Yeah.
That'll probably work. Starting at 18 in the US, you can give your kids, like, you can say, hey, you have to pay me rent. And if you don't, and if you can prove they don't, you can evict them. Right. Which would be a dick move. Right. But it's even true over in Italy. A 75-year-old woman in Pavia, northern Italy, very pretty city. Here's a picture of it. Just beautiful. Nice river running through it.
Northern Italy's sexy.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, all of Italy's sexy. But
the whole country is fantastic. But yeah, Pavia up here, Pavia. I don't know how the pronunciation is in Italian, but it's in northern Italy. She just proved that you can evict your kids by taking her freeloading 40 and 42-year-old sons to court and getting them legally removed from her house.
Giuseppe?
Probably.
Anthony and Anthony.
Luigi and Mario. Yeah, I don't know. It's Europe, so all the names are redacted. You know, they don't give it out. But
42
she had
and 40.
Sitting around shirtless eating pizza all day.
Oh yeah. Well, no, these guys actually.
What are you going to do, Mom? Evict us? You know?
She did. We dare you. Yeah, no, she got them removed for being total losers, or as the court documents from the mother described them, parasites. She was calling her own sons parasites in court. The mother claimed that despite the two adult males being employed. Remember, they're 40 and 42, and they have jobs. Her middle-aged sons never contributed to the rent, which is a rented apartment they lived in, or helped out around the house at all. So they would just, like Wes said, like they were just sitting there eating pizza and talking shit and then leave and go to work, come back, never help out. And now that the mother is divorced from their father, so these kids stayed there after the divorce.
The father allowed it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
all of her pension, 100% of her pension. Yeah.
Dad says shut up. Like that was a boys' pizza house for a while. Yeah.
It was, but they were all losers apparently because
Right.
she left the father
Good for
and then
her.
the sons
Yeah.
couldn't get out of the house even though they were 40 and 42. And all 100% of her pension was going to groceries and keeping the house for the family, like rent and maintaining the house.
Yeah, she was their maid, and that's what she was.
They couldn't move in with Dad because he couldn't get a place big enough for them.
He's homeless now.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know. That's not for sure, but probably.
I think he's in a 1-bedroom at best. Yeah.
Yeah, at best. So, they wouldn't help with anything, even though they had jobs, and she had to do this. So Judge Simona Catterby sided with the retired mother, ruling that the two Bambaccioni, or big babies, that's literally the ruling, have until December 18th to vacate the premises. So not only are these two clowns evicted from the retired mom's house, they're legally Bambaccionis, big babies. So these dudes are legally been determined to be.
That's a tough
big
ruling
babies.
for them. Yeah, that's a tough ruling for them. The big babies.
The big babies. Yeah.
This one's getting one back. It sounded like a female judge, Simone. This one's getting one back for the women in Italy who just got the 10-second groping rule put on them.
Oh, Mark, it's a big battle. This is
one for the ladies in Italy, which they deserve.
And they're going hard on it too. So the big babies, the men are apparently really addicted to being big babies, and so they even hired an attorney to try to block the ruling. So these guys, their mom took them to court to evict them. They never paid rent once or bought groceries once, but they fucking hired an attorney to try to get them to stay in their house.
This was a battle of the sexes, a male attorney. And he's like,
but they're so fucking pathetic that the judge still said, no. Italians are trying to stamp out the issue of mamma mia in their country, which is a trend of adult men who continue to rely too much on their parents, their mothers in particular. And this follows up a 2020 ruling where a 35-year-old man was legally denied his request for financial support from his parents because he said he couldn't survive on his part-time music teaching salary. So he was like a, guitar teacher. And then he said, I don't make enough money. You need to give me money. And the Italian courts were like, fuck you, work harder. And so
one of the most disheveled people I've ever seen in my life was my son's piano teacher.
Yeah, exactly. He's one of those guys demanding a salary from his parents.
He'd show up in his 89 Corolla, late, running across, just disheveled across the street to make the lesson.
All you need is one pair of khakis. All you need to do is know how to play piano.
All he had.
Yeah, barely. Yeah.
Right.
So that's what, I mean, these Italian men they're living at home until an average of 30. Italians do. And it sounds like the Italians are sick of it. And in America, like we said, this doesn't happen because you can start fucking evicting your kids as soon as they turn 18, which would suck. But it sounds like way better than what they're dealing with in Italy, which is a bunch of people who
age is 30
stay at home and demand to be paid for until they're way into adulthood.
Yeah, we're gonna go with father to walk around. You shut up and do the dishes.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
good for her getting these assholes out of her life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Italy needs to change this up. So in the average in the EU is 26 to move out of your house, which is similar to America, 24 to 27. But in Italy and Croatia is even worse. They stay till 33. In Italy, they stay till 30. Yeah, and it's just you got to get these adults out of your house. You can't. It's not fair. The parents. She's retired, and they're refusing to move out still. It's insane.
What's the age in like Mexico or South America? It's these cultures where they're so family driven. They like don't want the
Right.
kids to like go to overnights, and like they don't want them out of like part of it's the culture. Like Italy's like
is.
so
But that's
family.
the culture is to bring in
Right.
the old people after you've been
Let me
successful.
fix you some meal. Let me fix you
Yeah.
a meal. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Asia's big into that too.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for sure, it's cultural to some extent, but it also the cult they've taken the culture too far, and the courts are having to step in,
Too
being
far.
like, "Hey, you fucking mamonis, you fucking
Yeah.
beanies."
They're
What is the
enacting
word?
the big baby rules. Yeah.
Yeah, the bambucciones, and then they literally the bambucciones are the big babies, and they literally have a term for all these men who are just fucking slapdicks and rely on their parents. They called it mamonis, and so they have like it's like a nationwide issue with this shit.
Yeah. They have terms like what was it in China or Japan? They have the term for the people that are just failure to launch.
Strawberry generation in Taiwan,
Yeah.
they have
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's
They
what the Taiwanese call it.
Every country is going to have a term for this pretty soon.
Yeah,
you know.
Italy is putting their foot down in the 2020s. They're like, we're done with the mamonis and the big babies.
The big babies. I don't know who's giving Jesse a bunch of shit in the live.
I am.
You are, Wes, while you're multitasking. Well, now we have to shout out his family.
I know. I was going to.
Wes is busting this dude's balls. Or Jesse might be a girl, guys. Jesse says, "Love you, fellas." I know it's asking a lot, but can you say I want to shout out John Lanks, Mark Lanks, Owen Lanks, and Will Dummy Carl. So shout out to the Lanks.
I was going to do it.
Hell yeah.
Wes is like, I didn't see a merch order, Jesse.
Shout out to the Lanks.
That's right.
Get that shopping done before we vault everything at store.hardfactor.com.
Only shout outs go to merch orders.
I'm guessing the code Merchathon 2023 still works for now. But most importantly, thank you for listening. We love you, every single one of you in the Hardo Hive. Thank you for supporting the pod. Remember, if you want more podcasts, you can get patreon.com/hardfactor, get 2 more weekly bonus podcasts. Like we just said about the store, get it before we vault the merch. But most importantly,
Wait,
get out there.
I'm gonna read Jesse's merch order on the show this week when he does order. So
right,
you know,
or
no
we'll
pressure.
take that shout back.
No pressure, Jesse.
He says he's going to order it as soon as he gets his card back. He lost his card at Dave & Buster's. And people have been spending money on it.
So we'll hear about Jesse's order. Also, tomorrow we'll have the updated like Merchathon totals and whatnot after we get back in the saddle.
Get your Halloween candy. You got one day.
That's right. Make sure, and your pumpkins, don't want to get your house egged. Make sure you have everything prepared. But most importantly, get out there and have yourselves a great fucking day.